So this concept right here that you're talking about is purely due to feminism. So if you want to blame somebody, blame feminism. Feminism will tell you that women need to be exactly equal to men. They need to become more masculine. Not responding to somebody on principle is a masculine characteristic. When a girl tries to get even in this way, it's usually due to the fact that she's possessed by the masculine. She thinks that men and women are perfectly equal. If he does it to me, I have to do it to him. Unfortunately, this cannot be further from the truth. We're built and designed differently. We don't respond the same way to the same stimulus. When a girl tries to posture up, it's typically an attitude that she inherited from somebody else, whether it be society or her parents. It's rarely due to her experience. This is typically due to the fact that men are always sold as the bad guys and they have to always be defensive around men. I'm just gonna play it cool. Why should we have to play it cool? Why do we have to play all these stupid little games with each other? The amount was a bad guy parents. It's rarely due to her experience. This is typically due to from somebody else. What same stimulus? When a girl tries to posture up, it's typically an attitude that she inherited from somebody else, whether it be society or her parents. It's rarely due to her experience. This is typically due to the fact that men are always sold as the bad guys and they have to always be defensive around men. I'm just gonna play it cool. Why should we have to play it cool? Why do we play games with each other? The amount of TikToks that I've seen where girls are like, you don't want to show too much interest in him, we're gonna scare him away. We'll let him run away. Why is that a bad thing to show someone that you actually like that you... It's definitely not a bad thing for a girl to display her affection towards a guy. We, on the other hand, have to be a little bit more careful. A huge percentage of women get turned off when we as men come off too strong. There's the risk it can come off as desperate. So you can do it all you want. We typically can't, especially not up front. Like them. It's crazy. Why are we like this? It feels so backwards. If you like someone, show that you like them. If you want to respond to them in 5 minutes after they waited 2 hours to write you, write them back in 5 minutes. If anything, you're just being your true authentic self and they're just showing their true colors to you. Why would you ever want to dim yourself just to fit a societal standard that now it's normal to not care? Because it is messed up and it shouldn't be a normal thing. We should be showing that we care. And that's where the world is kind of falling apart, in my opinion, is people don't actually show that they care for each other. We need more of that. We need more kindness. And whoever I'm going to be with, they're going to be a reflection of me. So I'm going to continue showing that.
Yeah, I agree with what she just said. People, don't show that they actually care. And it became like this. It wasn't always like that, like the way it is now. So I feel like that's interesting that it wasn't always like that, and we became like that. So it's like society's on a thing, moving on towards a negative note. We've been vibing on a negative beat as far as dating and relationships. It ain't looking good.
That I care, and the right person will accept that. Bottom line, the right person.
But we could fix it. We gotta acknowledge this shit. That's why I say I agree with what she said. That's why I'm pointing out about what she said. Like, hey, you know, the society, like, it wasn't always like that. It just wasn't. So that means we became like that, and something made us like that. And it's like we need to address that and look into that. Like, more people gotta have these discussions and actually care and give a fuck. I mean, that's why videos like this is good. Coaching is good. Relationship coaching.
Person will be the exact same and they'll actually like that quality. Because they should like that quality. I don't want to be with someone that doesn't like someone that doesn't show that they care. You know? Any masculine guy wants to be shown that. There's not a single masculine guy ever that will say, I hate it when my woman offers me affection. As I already said, go blame the feminists that would prefer to play power games.
We got to have some sort of compromise or some conclusion to a conversation once in our entire existence. And it always ends with you saying that you don't care.
Games out of fear and anxiety instead of just doing the right thing. More often than not, men are just a mirror anyways. They reflect back what you give them. Not necessarily because they want to, but because they need to.
Man, that was deep. That was deep right there. What he just said about reflection and needing to, not having to.
Bro, have I not been saying I'm a mirror since I met you? Been there with you?
But because they genuinely care about what the truth is. You may not see it as a flattering fact, of course, but I think it's much more advantageous to play within your natural role because life will reward you better that way than trying to fight your whole life to do something you were never meant to do. So keep going. It's funny how she even laughed about the comments she made because she knows that she's being self-absorbed by admitting that she's special by not being like that. She's got to be aware to some degree, which is why it's funny. I'm not sure how many more confirmations people will need, but they'll keep coming. Hey guys, before we keep going, I want to lay how many more confirmations people will need, but they'll keep coming. Hey guys. By not being like that. She's got to be aware to some degree, which is why it's funny. I'm not sure how many comments she. It's funny how she even laughed about the comments she made because she knows that she's being self-absorbed by admitting that she's special by not being like that. She's got to be aware to some degree, which is why it's funny.
Have your shit together. Hold up.
Absorbed by admitting that she's special
I'm gonna have to
by
clip
not
this.
being like that. She's got to be aware to some degree, which is why it's funny. I'm not sure how many more confirmations people will need, but they'll keep coming. Hey guys, before we keep.
And that was definitely a confirmation. You heard it. Have your shit together.
Even if you like her, have your
and have your own life. Have your shit together and have your own life. But then Shorty said coaching in. One more time.
By not being like that. She's got to be aware to some degree, which is why it's funny.
even if you like her, have your together and have your own life. Coaching and I know.
Have your shit together and have your own life. That's very deep. This ain't got, well, I guess it does have something to do with the video, but I'm not pointing this out because of the video. It's just something that I know is necessary to point out. But a lot of guys, man, don't get this. Some guys may need to hear this, you know. You dealing with women, I don't care if it's going good. I don't care if she like you, she in love with you, you like her, whatever the case might be. Just as a man, on principle, on GP, you gotta have your shit together. Have your own life. Like, have your shit together, like the assets in life, the basics and shit. Be able to survive, get around, whatever the case might be. Feed, you know what I'm saying? Like, have your shit together and have your own life.
If you like her, have your
Coaching in. Nigga, we coaching over here, nigga. That's some real coaching right there. It's crazy, but people need to know that. People need to hear that. You'd be surprised. This stuff you think people know, or even if they know, people need to be reminded or need to hear again.
together and have your own life. Coaching and I know.
Just having your own shit together, having your life together and shit, it just bring a certain level of balance, man. No matter who you dealing with or what you got going on.
I'm not sure how many more confirmations people will need, but they'll keep coming. Hey guys, before we keep going, I want to let you know about my Modern Dating Mastery course. For those of you that don't know, Modern Dating Mastery focuses on teaching you everything you need to know when it comes to mastering modern dating. Whether you're just starting to date or you want to refine your knowledge further, click the link at the top of the description for more about it. Auxarial Hope.
Men, pay attention because this study is going to give you a competitive advantage with women. So this study...
I hate to pause so quickly, but I need to point this out right away before we even start. This will give you a competitive advantage with women. I thought that dating wasn't a game and that it wasn't a competition. Isn't that what a huge percentage of women online are going to tell you?
We looked at the differences between what men find attractive in women and what women find attractive in men. So men tend to prioritize physical attractiveness and health in their partners, indicators of attractiveness.
Aiming that at what dark? Auxarial Hope.
Men, pay attention because this study is going to give you a competitive advantage with women. So this study...
I hate to pause so quickly, but I need to point this out right away before we even start. This will give you a competitive advantage with women. I thought that dating wasn't a game and that it wasn't a competition. Isn't that what a huge percentage of women online are going to tell you?
We looked at the differences between what men find attractive in women and what women find attractive in men. So men tend to prioritize
Well,
physical
damn.
attractiveness and health in their
Got
partners,
'em.
indicators of fertility, while women value traits like intelligence, emotional stability, and earning potential. Do not be that guy who sees this and then suddenly says, oh look, all women care about is money, okay? Yes, financial ability to provide is a factor, but there's two other really important things there, and I want to focus on one of them, which is the emotional stability piece. I started the Institute for Relational Intelligence, and we've been doing our own research there, looking into the emotional stability piece because it's a big one. It's way more important to women than most men realize, and almost no men are cultivating this, training this, developing this, which means that if you do this as a man, if you cultivate your emotional intelligence, if you train your emotional resilience and your stability, if you train that ability to provide safety within yourself and safety for a woman, you are going to have a competitive advantage. I know a couple men who do this really, really well because they're in my industry, and they do not make that much money, but women flock to them. And there are a lot of men who are over-relying on their money. So if you're one of those men who actually does earn well, but hasn't taken the time to cultivate your emotional stability, your emotional resilience, your emotional intelligence, you haven't found the relationship, or you don't have the quality relationship that you want yet.
What do I keep telling you guys over and over and over again? This video right here is in direct opposition to all those guys that like to pretend that looks are everything when it comes to women. Obviously it's not, and the real ones understand that. When it comes to emotional stability, of course, which guys tend to be the most emotionally stable? The not.
You see what he just said? Let me take it back.
I'm listening. Am I
When it comes to emotional stability, when it comes to women. Obviously it's not, and the real ones understand that. They pretend that looks are everything when it comes to women. Obviously it's not, and the real ones understand that. When it comes to looks are everything when it comes to women. Obviously it's not, and the real ones understand that.
The real ones. The real ones understand that. I'm gonna take that back again. Hold on.
As over and over and over again.
Relationship that you want yet.
What do I keep telling you guys?
Cultivate their money. So if you're one of those men who actually does earn well, but hasn't taken the time to cultivate your emotional stability, your emotional resilience, your emotional intelligence, you haven't found the relationship, or you don't have the quality relationship that you want yet.
What do I keep telling you guys over and over and over again? This video right here is in direct opposition to all those guys that like to pretend that looks are everything when it comes to women. Obviously it's not, and the real ones understand that. When it comes to emotional stability, of course,
the real ones understand that. See, everything she's saying, like that, it's facts. It's see, women acknowledge and know what she talking about. They say it's a power, like like that's how valuable it is. Like just being emotionally stable and control. You know, and dealing in a relationship, dealing with your significant other. You know, but not everyone knows that. Not everyone knows the. One second. Okay, so basically, so like everything she's saying was right. And but the reason why I was pointing out what the guy said, the real ones, because it's so real, like man or woman, like not a little girl, not a little boy, but just real men, real women, people that's like really grown, really adult, really godly, whatever you want to say, however you want to put it, like people that's mature, wise, like real people, really been through shit, you know, they gonna see certain things and acknowledge certain things. And it's just that simple. So you gotta see where you fit in that picture. Where do you fit in reality? Like, or you want to do real ones? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like that's how you gotta break it down. Look at it. It's like, cause see, some people, like he said, it's not all about looks. Some people just go after looks and then go through a whole roller coaster, and that be what it is. And a lot of people gotta be real and admit to that. But it's a lot more that goes into it. You see what I'm saying? And that's why I'm pointing out the real ones, because the many are called, few are chosen. That's one of my favorite sayings. Just that I'm just bringing that up just to acknowledge like how everybody ain't out here a real one. Everybody ain't out here seriously and striving and being a practitioner of being a real one, and thus we got so much hell with when it comes down to relationships. But when you are on your shit and you got your shit together, a real one gonna acknowledge certain shit and peep certain shit, and then other real ones is gonna be on their shit and have their shit together, and it's just that simple. So yeah, it's like you gotta have. You might have the looks, but it's like, do you got the emotional? Like she talking about it being emotionally stable. Do you got the? And then it's like other things. So it's not just one thing. And a real one is wise enough to know, like, hey, I gotta check off this, and that. Or and like I say, like everybody say, ain't nobody perfect. Ain't nobody perfect. But certain shit gotta be there for real ones. You know what I'm saying? So,
Which guys tend to be the most emotionally stable? The nonchalant ones. Think of a guy like Future, for example. So many idiots have such a hard time.
I love that he using Future as an example. I love this.
Rationalizing how a guy like Future can have such success with women. Of course, they're always going to blame his fame and money, but is it really because of that? Or is it because he's so nonchalant that he's unaffected by anything that anybody does? Women obviously perceive nonchalance as emotional stability. The crazy thing, of course, is that perception is legitimately correct. When you're the type of guy that's not affected by anything, of course you're going to be more emotionally stable. Don't listen to the wrong advice, guys. Be nonchalant. I promise it'll work.
That is most likely the reason. The world's top performers are starting to figure this out. Kobe Bryant was talking about it recently. Andrew Huberman was talking about it recently. If you look around, the people who are really paying attention are tracking that emotional intelligence training is crucial for the next wave of optimization.
Be careful with this buzz term, emotional intelligence. A lot of people use emotional intelligence incorrectly. In this context, when she's referring to emotional intelligence, what she means is your ability to not be emotional or to control your emotions, however you want to word it.
The last decade, reverse engineering these tools.
Wow. I love how that was just worded and put. He just put that, he just said it so simple. And it really is that simple. And it's like, that's what cause it's like, I don't use emotionally, the words emotionally and intelligence a lot. But I use, I'm losing my train of thought again. Controlling your emotions, being aware of your emotions. I say that so much. I inquire that so much, and I like the way he put it, because he put it so simple to see that the 2 and 2 is the same. Like he put it together. Like it's like emotional intelligence is having the power to be in control of your emotions, to having the conscious, to be the sense to be aware of what's taking place, your emotions and what's going on, how things is affecting you, how things changes you. It all comes down to you, that all I see in being you, the inner being you. You see what I'm saying? Then that's why I tell people all the time, whoa, regardless of what's going on, what the situation is, who said that, who, don't give that up your power. Sit in your seat, rock you, the all seeing you. Don't give that things outside of you that power to throw you off your emotional seat. Because when you not on your align with yourself, then that's when all type of you allow the spirits and beings and negative things and entities to attract to you and throw you off. That's why so many people could have experiences when they might not have been in their right state of mind and made a wrong decision, a wrong choice. You see what I'm saying? So it's very valuable, very, very, very important to have that control. And it's not easy. It sounds simple to understand. Like, yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah. Everybody can understand what's being said, right? But when it's time to display it in that moment, it be very challenging, very hard. That's how some people end up dead or put in prison or whatever, so on and so on. But yeah, it's a very powerful thing. And what they're talking about is, if you got that type of power and you can control that, how beneficial it is, how you get what you want, how you know what I'm saying, how you attract this, how you see what I'm saying. So it's man or woman, even a child. You just gotta apply it. But you can't apply what you don't know. See, life is about being a practitioner, practicing. You can't just wake up tomorrow and just be done changed or then just switch this way. But you can begin tomorrow. You see what I'm saying? You could take a little step by little step, but that ain't easy. It's gonna be some work. You gotta put in that work. What reality is, after those steps and you really, really put in that work, you really taking the effort, you really going the way, the platform that you gotta go to get there, you gonna get there. For real. But that's the problem with people nowadays. Like, we don't put in that work to get there. We be so comfortable where we at. And a lot of time go by. And no growth.
For efficient and effective ways to train emotional intelligence and teaching them to my high net worth clients. So if you want to learn more about this, go ahead and follow me because I've got a bunch of videos on it.
You have to be nonchalant, guys. This is the secret. I'm going to list off a couple examples, even the ones that she mentioned. Kobe Bryant is a great example. He was extremely chalant when he was off the court, but on the court, he was the most nonchalant guy ever. He wouldn't get emotionally affected, and that's why he was so ruthless. As I've already said, guys, do not let them convince you that being nonchalant is not the way to do it. The only girls who are going to claim this isn't the truth are the ones that want to drain you of your energy to their benefit. You really don't need them in your life. If you like this video, like and subscribe. Don't forget to check out Modern Dating Mastery in the description below.
As a football